have two problems today. One of them is I am wearing my upper lights of my office room because it is raining like there's no tomorrow and it's really, really cold. And the other one is that I have a beanie on for purposes of the theme of this video and I cannot hear what I'm saying. So either I am really not on focus on this video or I am really screaming loudly and I have no idea. So I apologize to begin with because this is not going to be good. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today I am going to be doing a very exciting announcement for you all. So as you all know, when I do TBRs, I normally participate in readathons because I don't really like to do TBRs for actual reading months where I don't have any challenges or anything to do, because I like to go with the flow. I like to read my own stuff. So I am here today with a beanie, with my pajamas because warm, with my robe because theme of stuff, and I am here today to film my TBR for February, which will consist of 2 readathons. And you're going to be like, how? I mean, why don't you have stuff to do? And yes, I do have stuff to do, but one of the readathons does not exclude the other, and one of the things that I'm going to read, well, the things that I'm going to read for both of them are similar. Well, you will see. I'm going to explain everything, so just don't bother, okay? Okay, so the 2 readathons that I'm going to take part on are the BOOKTube games, and that one is a whole month readathon throughout the 1st of February until the 28th of February, and that one was created by Mayona from Little Wolf Reads, I believe that's the channel name. However, I will leave the link down below for the creators of both of the readathons and for all of the information that you need to know about it. If you want to participate, I don't know if you still can, because we had to put our names in some sheets, and I believe that Mayona was going to close them at some point so that we could all participate. But reach out to her and just read for having fun. So for the BOOKTube games, we all had to choose a team. There were, I believe, 4 or 5 different teams that we could choose from, and I chose Team Derry because of Derry, Maine, of Stephen King's It, you know what I mean, because obviously I love everything that is dark and cold and terrifying as my soul, you know, like, who doesn't like that type of things? And for the challenges, you can read whatever you want, because what counts is the amount of pages that each team reaches at the end of the month. So basically you can read whatever you want. You don't have specified challenges for reading specified books, unless you participate in the challenge for the first week, which is to read the book group for each of the groups that you are into. And my book group, sadly, is The Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and I am not really interested actually right now to read it. I was a long time ago, but now I don't feel like that's what I want to read right now, you know what I mean? So I don't really want to spend money to get that book when I don't really want to read it right now. So I am not going to be doing that particular challenge, but I will still read stuff to try and help the team out. And I will probably vlog each week of February in order to update you guys on my progress and just have some fun and see what other people are doing and be a little bit competitive. And I want to wish all of you that are watching this video and are participating in the readathon, I want to wish all of you good luck. I hope the best team wins. I hope everyone has fun reading a lot of pages. And yeah, so all of the books that I'm going to show to you for this readathon in particular and for the next one are books that will count for that readathon, because books read in February, if you know what I mean. And the second readathon, which I'm going to participate in, it's the reason why I'm dressed like this, and that is the POLARTHON. And that is a readathon that is firstly presented by Jay, and I'm going to leave the link to her channel down below. She is amazing. She is a really fun and sweet person, and she found out that there's a type of fantasy books that normally people don't assimilate that they are a subtype of fantasy actually, and those are polar fantasy books. So she did a lot of videos talking about that. She recommended some books, she talked about that, and then she decided to do a readathon based on polar fantasy books. So I don't have a lot of polar fantasy books, but I found 2 books that will feature the challenges that she put out, because for that readathon you have challenges, and so I decided that I was going to participate as well, and there's 2 more books that I'm going to read for the BOOKTube games as well. So yeah, let's get into the TBR. So the first TBR that I'm going to show to you guys is for the POLARTHON, and that readathon is from the 4th of February until the 10th of February, so it's in the middle of the BOOKTube games, and it has 5 challenges, and I kind of cheated a little bit because I only used 2 books, but those 2 books have the prompts needed for those 5 challenges. So the idea is you complete a choose your path kind of challenge to climb up a mountain, which obviously has something to do with a theme, which is polar, reading, icy stuff. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but yeah. So I am only using 2 books for climbing. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find any books else that would fit the themes and that I actually wanted to read. So, and it's only a week. I couldn't read a lot of books. I know myself, I have a lot of stuff to do. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the challenges that I'm going to fulfill for the POLARTHON. So the first challenge for the POLARTHON is a journey ahead, and it's basically you have to read or the first book in a series, or a book that is about a journey, or a book that you feel like it will be a journey to you, if you know what I mean. And for that one, I chose to read Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. So this is also a book that I absolutely had to read in February because I am participating in a book club. That book club is hosted by the Wild Sasha here on BOOKTube, and I am also going to leave her link down below. So wow, so many links. I hope I don't forget any of them. And she has this book club called the Hauling Pack because we're all wolves and we love her and we love Mooney, and Mooney is our wolf and she's our wolf as well. And this is the bi-monthly book group. So I had January and February to read it, and I haven't read it yet, so I definitely have to read it in February. And this is about a journey that main characters do, and it's also the first in the series. So I am using it for the POLARTHON and for the book club and for the BOOKTube games. So, yippee. This book in this edition has 472 pages, so those will count for the BOOKTube games. Then my second challenge, I believe it's a blue cover. Let me just check. Yeah, I chose to read a book with a blue cover, and for that one it's going to be La Belle Sauvage, The Book of Dust, Volume 1 by Philip Pullman. I don't know if you can see this because my light is terrible, but I mean, this is blue, so it counts. And this one has 391 pages, so pages count, going up, going up. Then I choose to read a book with silver on the cover or a silver cover, and because I don't have a total silver cover book, I decided to go with Children of Blood and Bone again, because silver. And it's not white, it's actually silver because it's ornaments, and her eyes also look like silver, although they're probably gray. So this counts, people. It's still the same book and it counts. And then the next 2 challenges is to read a book with a snowy cover and to read a polar fantasy. So I'm using this one again. First of all, because snow on the cover, okay? And second of all, because I am not sure if this is a polar fantasy, but the first volume in his Dark Materials series, which is also by Philip Pullman, The Golden Compass, or The Northern Lights, as it is called in the UK, was a polar fantasy. And this is a prequel to that world, so it's set in Oxford, and it's set still in that polarish world, I believe. So I am betting that this is going to be a polar fantasy, and the cover gives me those vibes, but it might not be, because the second and third volumes of his Dark Materials were not. So I am betting on this. And I'm sorry, Jay, I don't really know if this is a polar fantasy or not, but I am hoping it is, because the other one was, and I really enjoy when Philip Pullman writes these sort of polar scenes. I don't know, we will see, but I am counting this because I literally don't have any polar fantasy in this house, and I wasn't on time to actually go and buy books about that, and I really didn't want to spend my money on that, so, you know, we're going with this. So that is going to be the end of the POLARTHON books, and I will have fulfilled, if I can read both of these books in that time, all of the challenges for the POLARTHON, and I would have completed that readathon. And now, for the rest of February, I am going to be showing you books that I want to read that will count for the BOOKTube games. So another book that I really want to read is Fire and Heist by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a book that I acquired fairly recently, and I won it in a giveaway made by Sasha, who I already talked about in this video, and she and I are going to be buddy reading this in February, starting on the 11th of February. So obviously it's a page count for the BOOKTube games. We are in different teams, but we just want to have fun, and we are supposed to just be talking with the enemy and just having fun with this book. And this is how many pages? Let me check. So this is 292 pages in this edition, so it's also a good page count, and I think it's going to be a fast read because it's sort of a fantasy, kind of a contemporary sort of thing. So I'm very excited to actually read this with her and have fun reading this. And yeah, it is small and it's doable, and I think it's going to be fun. And lastly, the book that I want to read in February and that I hope will be the last book. Well, not the last. I didn't really want it to be the last book, but I know myself and I know that I don't have time to read a lot of books. So I decided to pick one that is middle, so it's not big and it's not small, and that I could comfortably read and enjoy. And that is A Hero Born, Legends of the Heroes of Condor by Jin Young. So I talked about this on my book haul of January. I don't know if I'll leave it linked down below or not, because at this point I don't even remember what I have to link down below, but we will see. And this one was called The Chinese Lord of the Rings. So I have a lot of expectations about this book. I really want to read it, and this sets at 433 pages in this edition. So if I could read all of these books, especially this one because I believe it's the bigger one, I will make a good page count for the BOOKTube games. So I'm hoping I can. This is sort of a Chinese sort of telling of the wars of China, and at the same time of a hero that is born, and war, I said war already, okay, and sadness and drama, all of those great Chinese stories that you know from the movies. If you don't know, you should watch Chinese movies because they are fucking great. Japanese movies are great as well, but Chinese movies have that historical sort of, I don't know, I really enjoy Asian stuff. Like Korean movies as well have that drama. I don't know, it's a drama, they do it so well, like the sadness and the grief and the feelings, they seem so much more there than when you're watching European kind of stuff. So I don't know, I really enjoy it. I really want to read it because I really want to see if it's as good as it's supposed to be. So yeah. So this is all for my TBR for the Polarthon and for the BOOKTube games. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe. And tell me down below if you're going to be participating in either of these readathons. And if you are participating in the BOOKTube games, tell me in which team you are, because I would love to know more Derry team. I already know a lot of people that are in Derry, but I would really know more people. I really want to know. And if you're not in Derry, that's fine. I really want to know you too. So just tell me who you are, where you are, and yeah, guys, that's going to be all for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye!